In the time before the Titans, before the gods of Olympus, a great battle was waged. The wrath of the primordials. The very beings who forged the earth. Raged out of control for an eternity.
Kratos' quest for revenge is over. The original God of War trilogy had him decimate the Greek pantheon, laying waste to Mount Olympus and every deity that lived on it. God of War Ascension brings us to a time before that, when the would-be God of War was capable of feeling more than just anger. Taking place mere months before his bond to Ares forced him to murder his wife and child, Kratos is the closest we've ever seen him to actually being a human. But despite strong action and magnificent visuals, the Ghost of Sparta's latest adventure is far from his best. You'll love the absolutely beautiful visuals. God of War Ascension's characters and environments are imaginative and beautiful, rendered with such remarkable clarity that you'll struggle not to cringe while you disembowel mythological enemies. Kratos himself is the best he's ever looked, and his animations are fantastic and fluid. Ascension is not only the best-looking God of War game, but it's one of the best-looking PS3 games to date. You'll hate the lack of personality. While Ascension succeeds in removing the anger from Kratos, it doesn't really replace it with anything. His character is incredibly bland, walking from place to place without any meaning or motivation. It often feels like he's just going through the motions, and it's hard to get excited about the hero's journey when the hero himself can't really muster up any excitement of his own. You'll love magnificent set-piece encounters and massive battles. The God of War franchise frequently pits Kratos against disproportionately large enemies, and Ascension doesn't disappoint. You're constantly forced into battles with absolutely massive foes in incredibly epic encounters, punctuated by cinematic moments that are some of the best in the genre. You'll hate difficulty spikes and occasionally unsatisfying puzzles. Pushing around crates and pulling levers is as important to God of War as tearing off the heads of goatmen, and you'll do plenty of both in Ascension. Problem is, sometimes the puzzles don't feel all that well thought out. You'll occasionally find yourself stuck searching for an unintuitive solution and unsatisfied when you finally figure it out. This, mixed with random difficulty spikes in the platforming and combat, can hurt the pacing of the 8-hour-long campaign. You'll love engaging, fast-paced combat. God of War's combat hasn't changed all that much since the PS2 era. That's because it doesn't have to. Slashing apart enemies with the Blades of Chaos is engaging and makes you feel incredibly powerful. A steady stream of varied enemies makes sure the battle never grows dull. Even if you're not given the suite of interesting weapons you normally find in a God of War title, it doesn't innovate, but it gets the job done. You'll hate unmemorable multiplayer. Ascension's multiplayer isn't that bad, but it certainly doesn't do anything all that impressive. It's robust with plenty of game modes and hefty character customization, but God of War's combat simply doesn't work all that well with multiple people. The only exception is the Trial of the Gods, a wave-based cooperative mode that's fun with a friend, but it's still not going to hold your attention for too long.
Help me! Someone please help me!
Though God of War Ascension doesn't reach the heights of any of the other games in the franchise, it's still an enjoyable journey that's worth taking. If you're looking for Kratos' origin story, you'll have to look somewhere else, as nothing all that new or interesting happens during the campaign. But if you're simply hoping for hectic action and massive cinematic battles, Ascension has you covered, resulting in an enjoyable, albeit needless trip into the minutiae of Greek mythology. God of War Ascension gets 3.5 out of 5 stars.